Good evening, one and all. Good evening, all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating International Self-Care Day. International Self-Care Day stresses the importance of self-care as the cornerstone of wellness. On this day, individuals throughout the world are encouraged to make self-care a part of their everyday routines and turn it into a priority. Often, we see people who are dedicated to the social service. They often are those who are dedicated to their professions or to their hobbies, to their passions, often neglect themselves in the service of, taking up their work. Even we see many times, people don't take food in time, don't go to sleep in time, because they take up so much work or so much service or so many activities that they get lost themselves in the process, in the activities. So their health gets affected. So this is a day where it is given importance to the self-care. Self-care doesn't mean being selfish. Self-care means taking time for your health and well-being. Because only when you are healthy and wealthy, you will be able to contribute in cash and kind. So self-care has become incredibly important as people realize the need to take care of themselves and put themselves first. But this has made people talk about it and increase interest of others to take control of their health and wellness. By prioritizing themselves, today we urge you to practice self-care, even if all you do is take a walk. So it is a milestone and an opportunity to raise further awareness of the benefits of effective self-management of health. So self-care is a crucial cornerstone of health. And this International Self-Care Day was established by the International Self-Care Foundation to raise awareness about it. The celebration of International Self-Care Day on July 24th emphasizes the advantages of self-care that can be felt at any time of the day or night, 7 days a week, regardless of the season. The benefits of self-care, to put in another way, last a lifetime and are not limited to a single day. The International Self-Care Day simply provides a wonderful focus and a chance to publicize or reflect our self-care in programs in action. Revolving around the yearly theme, International Self-Care Day serves as a focal point and an opportunity to increase awareness of healthy living self-care programs all over the world. The concept of self-care has been around for a while, but it has been recently received a lot of attention because of its emphasis on wellness. This can include anything from following a healthy diet and exercising proper cleanliness to developing disease prevention strategies in one's daily routine. Significant progress have been achieved in the availability and accessibility of novel care, self-care interventions, and the self-care movement continues to rise. A wide range of health issues from mental health to therapy for chronic diseases can now be self-administered thanks to new approaches and technological breakthroughs. The medical community latches onto the term of self-care in 1950s. In the West, self-care is seen as unnecessary and even unhealthy in 1960s. Patient care moves towards person-centric involving self-care approach in 1970s. And the day is founded to increase awareness of the significance of self-care and to equip individuals with the information and skills necessary to participate in their wellness in 2011. There are many dangers to consider, including stress, rage, and disease, as well as a potential of burnout at work. Self-care means improving yourself, and it does not have to be at the cost of others and their needs. Self-care promotes your well-being, which you need to face your daily life and interact with others as well. If you are looking for ways to incorporate self-care into various aspects of your daily life, there is a 7-pillar framework of self-care developed by International Self-Care Foundation, a UK charity that includes knowledge and health literacy, mental well-being, physical activity, healthy eating, risk avoidance, good hygiene, and rational use of products and services. So on this day, let's not forget to take care of ourselves. So write a list, compose a list of all the ways you can continue to provide self-care for the rest of the year. Ways you can prioritize self-care include reading a good book, having a regular sleep pattern, paying your bills on time, and so on. Stress can take a toll on your health, and when we are aware of our stress, we get even more stressed. So you can drink an herbal tea, or you can have a herbal soup, or take a walk, or journal to relieve stress and take care of yourself. Spend just a few minutes quieting your mind through meditation. Will also go a long way. Meditation has been shown to improve quality of life. So today is a good day to practice it or get into it if you always wanted to, but haven't found time yet. So self-care helps you to perform at your best and have a higher quality of life and maintain self-esteem and self-confidence. When you prioritize self-care, it helps to boost your self-esteem and self-confidence. When we take care of ourselves, we can handle challenges better, which is important for maintaining resilience. Self-care does not need to take a long time. It can be as simple as taking a bath or picking up a new creative outlet, and it can be done in minutes. Self-care reduces stress and has several benefits, including increased energy, better sleep, and increases clarity. Anxiety and depression symptoms can be lessened by self-love. Self-compassionate people have a lower risk of getting anxiety or being depressed, according to the studies. Self-love can also free you from the feeling that mental illness is somewhat your responsibility. To reach your goals, You need to love yourself. As a result of self-love, you learn to prioritize your dreams. Having a strong sense of self-worth gives you the energy, resilience, productivity, and self-assurance you need to accomplish your goals. When you are constantly berating yourself, it's hard to have a sense of self-assurance. Negative self-talk can lead both to self-esteem and lack of confidence. Self-love allows you to be kind to yourself when you are feeling down, resulting in a rise in self-confidence. Today is also commemorated as National Cousins Day in US, and it is a perfect day to send some love to those family members we call cousins, whether they were our first best friend or first antagonist. Cousins are the people who made family get-togethers fun or at least more tolerable and less awkward when we were kids. Whether close cousins or distant cousins, friends or foes, those of us who are lucky enough to still have cousins around should think about celebrating them today. The two-in-one family and best friend bond is celebrated on National Cousins Day on July 24th, that is today. American families have been coming together for reunions since the first settlers left the safety of the colonies and headed west to find fame, fortune, and more importantly, land. As one generation passed the baton of keeping extended family connection onto the next generation, cousins became the guardians of family rules. Even in families who no longer gather for regular reunions, cousins tend to reach out to each other in life and revisit the shared memories of being family. If your cousins are like your brothers, sisters, or you become best friends growing up, staying in touch with them may not require a special day on your calendar. If you form a small family, or if you are from a small family or one, there is a wanderlust gene is dominant, and you are not quite sure where all your cousins wandered off years ago, celebrating cousinship takes a little more effort. It may take circling National Cousins Day on your calendar every year as an excuse to say hello to the cousins of your youth. However, revisiting a family member you haven't seen since you both were forced to sit to a kid's table is always an interesting and nostalgic reunion. You get to see where your life took you, the families you have created, the careers you have gone after, and the faces you have aged. Blessed are those who have cousins that double as best friends. Cherish the bond today. Had adventures, dine at your favorite eatery, or just be yourself and laze around your room with them. Because cousins are among the few people who you can be completely yourself around. If you have memorable photographs from your childhood or videos with your cousin squad, consider enacting and snapping a new one with same poses and similar outfits and share it to your cousins. So who are cousins? Cousins are two people who are both separated by two or more generations from their most recent common ancestor, which is typically a grandparent. First cousins are the children of your aunt or uncle. Aunts and uncles are the sisters of brothers of your mother or father. Your closest common ancestor with the first cousin is of your grandparents. There are no laws against dating a first cousin, but marriage between the first cousins is discouraged and illegal in most states in the US. Today is a good day to get acquainted or reacquainted with those quirky cousin relationships we enjoyed on TV and big screen when we were kids. Remember, summer returns, because this is a summer in US. Most vintage movies and many TV sitcoms, serial soaps have been digitized and are available on demand. Some of our cousin-themed favorites, Parent Trap, 1961, starring Halle Mills, My Cousin Winnie, and starring Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio, Marissa Tomei, and The Fresh Prince of Bel, starring Will Smith, are few cousin-themed programs you can watch. If your cousins are live on the opposite coast or on the opposite side of the planet, go digital. Schedule a live reunion hosted on one of the communication tools on social media platforms, or use a webinar or online conferencing platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, or Microsoft Teams, or any others, or Cisco WebEx, similar. So if you are least bit curious about who your real blood relatives are and are not, today is the day to stick that cotton swab into your neck and find out. DNA testing will help you identify cousins you never know you had. It may be intimidating to think about learning who your long lost relatives really are, but connecting with your cousins is what this day is all about. A study by Ancestry DNA revealed that the average Brit has more than 193,000 living cousins, sixth cousin or closer. We are not sure if the average American has this many living cousins, but it makes us wonder how many of us have unwittingly dated one of our cousins. So talent often runs in families, and this is true of celebrities. Some talented celebrity cousins were admired over the years. Singers Whitney Houston and Diane Warwick are the first cousins. Singer Snoop Dogg is the first cousin of singer Brandy. Actress Sissy Spacek and actor Rip Torn are first cousins. And here's an odd pair. Actress Lauren Bacall and Israeli Prime Minister Shimon Peres are first cousins. Similarly, maybe due to the advantage of the opportunities and being part of already in the environment, and a support also can influence them, making their careers a rosy way. It is also legal to marry your second cousin in all 50 states, but not your first cousin in most states. And apparently double cousins are a thing. If two brothers marry two sisters, their children are considered double first cousins in US. And your second cousin is someone who shares the same great grandparent as you, but not the same grandparent. So today gives us a reason to make amends with estranged family, beginning with our cousins. Sometimes it's all it takes to patch things up is to just reach out and say hello. So this is the day to make an excuse to call, email, or message, or track down those long lost cousins, offline and online, even on social media. Regardless of outcome, making effort is what it counts. Our cousins were some of our very best friends. We would see them during family get-togethers, share gossip, sneak extra snacks while our parents' backs were turned. So there is truth behind age-old maxim. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Telling our favorite cousins how much we appreciate them and how special they are sends out positive vibes that boomerang right back to us. Everyone likes to feel special. Today, we are also commemorating National Day of Motoring in US, which is an initiative led by Mini USA to encourage the public to take their cars on road and explore the world. Starting in 2021, one of the goals to celebrate road trip as a tradition that has defined American culture. While the event is directed mainly at Mini owners, it is also celebrated by any car owner who has penchant for the open road and a sense of adventure. The American road trip is ingrained in the culture. In fact, both fact and fiction, it has been glorified and immortalized as the best way to see America's sights. In the US, there are up to 4.09 million miles of road with over 276 million registered vehicles by 2020. And it's no surprise that the country's road and the motor culture is so widespread. These characteristics prompted the American branch of iconic British automobile manufacturer, Mini, to establish a day to commemorate a traditional American pastime. In 2021, the first ever National Day of Motoring was held with 4,000 Mini owners and 100 Mini dealers from throughout the US participating in a statewide rally branded Mini Together. The event is organized like a scavenger hunt and is self-curated by Mini owners who want to participate. Special tasks are assigned by a dedicated app that promotes exercise and a virtual gathering of Mini owners around the country. The day was enacted as a way for Mini USA to give the American Mini community a chance to show their stuff in a rally. Get lost and have fun is the main goal of the event, as it also encourages communities to interact with one another and strengthen community bonds. Mini has prided itself in making cars that are fun to drive and building its cars to fit the purpose. This appeal is what attracts interest in the brand, as data from the company shows that a customer main reason for buying a Mini is because it is fun to drive. So the Mini is a front wheel drive, not a rear wheel drive car. It is one of the engineering aspects that made it distinguishable from other cars on the road at that time. The classic Mini was able to triumph in races and rallies due to this feature. While the original design is still retained in current Minis, it was updated by the present owners, BMW, in 2001. The rebrand presented the Mini as more luxurious automobile that adhered to modern design. This didn't stop consumers from flocking to the car in the millions, sustaining its success in the automotive industry today. Even a miniature Mini or an actual Mini you can see in BMW showrooms in major cosmopolitan cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, even in Hyderabad. Even I saw in a BMW showroom, there is a Mini display. Though they are not sold here, because there are different varieties now available, and that's like a Mini car. So if you own a Mini, why not take part in the Mini Together rally in the US and cram into some extra fun in your drive? Aside from tasks, you can also take a chance to meet with other Mini owners and build mutual bonds. By joining them, you can appreciate what Mini has to offer and can take friends with people who share the same appreciation. So take your car out for a spin, be it a trip down the highway or just a stroll around your local area. There's nothing better than a Sunday drive to cap off the weekend. And at the same time, also encourage carpooling so that others who don't have Mini can also have fun, and also instead of bringing other cars into the Mini pool, you can help to support the cause and at the same time contribute to the environment by reducing the pollution. So whether you have a Mini or not, it's important to keep your car healthy and running. So stop by your local mechanic to check up on the car and identify what needs fixing. The best car to use on any journey is one that works right. So the record number of people that can fit into a Mini car is 27, achieved in Brington, UK in 2014. But don't try this at home. The name Mini Cooper, which is mostly known around the world, comes from car designer John Cooper, who created a sporty version of the car in 1961. The Mini was created as a response to fuel shortages in the UK following the 1956 Suez Crisis, which created a demand for smaller and more efficient cars. Isigonis, the creator of Mini, was knighted for his contribution to Britain in 1969. Over 10 million minis were produced between 1959 and 2019, a milestone for the world conquering car. And it also celebrates the joy of taking one's car out for a stroll and enjoying outdoors. Driving provides an unmatched thrill that allows you to zip through landscapes and environments while appreciating and learning more about your local and locale. Not only it is fun, but also it makes you to know more about the world around you. The Mini is celebrated iconic automotive brand that has captivated the world's attention with its distinctive design and straightforward handling. By participating, you will also grow to appreciate your Mini more and understand why you made that choice. Taking part in the National Day of Motoring also has charitable benefits. For this event, Mini USA partnered with the Best Friends Animal Society Foundation to raise funds for their work to end euthanization of cats and dogs in American shelters. An event that benefits animals are also worth following. Today is also commemorated as National Drive-Through Day in US. So the fact we can pick up and eat a meal without having to leave the comfort of our car, we may take it for granted, but eating in our cars is a privilege that would have sounded bonkers had you suggested it 100 years ago. With that in mind, the day is for celebrating those establishments who allow us to take the multitasking to a whole new level. Pick your favorite drive-through and go grab yourself a bite to eat. The first drive-through is believed to have been at Red's Giant Hamburg on Route 66 in Springfield, Missouri in 1947. In 1948, the original In and Out Burger opened a drive-through, which is now the longest surviving drive-through in the US. You may think of drive-through and instantly think of McDonald's. Well, you may be a little surprised to know that it was 1975 when they opened their first drive-through. McDonald's already had over 3,000 stores worldwide at that time and were well on their way to becoming the global leader in fast food. The drive-through became so popular that it started to influence car design. In 1983, the cup holder, as we now know, started to appear in the cars, was created in 2002 and was founded by the original drive-through chain Jack in Box. So, In and Out Burger has been opened in Los Angeles since 1948 and has been running its business since, being the longest running drive-through restaurant. The best time would be an early afternoon in the window between lunch and dinner. You'll have the breeziest time picking up your order. Many fast food restaurants love National Drive-Through Day as much as we do, and will be offering fun specials to celebrate along with discounts and offers. So go out and grab a group of friends to celebrate together. Pile into a minivan, turn up the radio and hit your favorite drive-thrus. But be careful as more and junk food can get you into trouble. Though there are more than 224,000 fast food restaurants in the US, these restaurants hire over 3.5 million people, bringing it more than $185 billion in sales each year. So it's a huge employment and also huge revenue. It shares the date with other holidays like today is also National Tequila Day and National Cousins Day. The drive-through format was created in the United States for banking services, which was originally meant for banks. During mid-afternoon is when the drive-throughs are not only fastest, but friendliest as well. The optimum time of the day to hit the drive-through is mid-afternoon snack period, when the wait times average 173 seconds. An unfortunate side effect of in-car dining is some messiness can occur. Dropped French fries, mislaid ketchup packets, muffin crumbs, and tortilla chips. But a clean car is a happy car and a happy car owner. So drive-throughs can be a great motivator for a car wash. It's not only food that get passed from an open window to another these days. Business from banks to pharmacies have also embraced the drive-through, ensuring we never have to get out of cars unless we want to or miss the end of favorite song or podcast. Today, we are also commemorating National Tell an Old Joke Day in US. So there are plenty of memorable old jokes that any person would know. If you can't remember some hilarious ones, the internet can help you. There are plenty of free websites with loads of old jokes for you to try out. You can also go old school and buy rent a joke book in keeping with your old jokes theme. Watch something funny, read out the history of old jokes. Scientists believe that before lunch strength allowed humans to talk to one another, laughter was their main way to relate. So humans laughed before they spoke. Researchers at Oxford University analyzed the reactions of 55 undergraduates from the London School of Economics to 65 different jokes. The shorter jokes were more popular. Data says people who make jokes in any situation, even job interviews, are perceived as more confident than those who say, stay nervous. Laughter is the best medicine. Sophie Scott, a neuroscientist at University College London, found that the premotor cortical region of the brain, which prepares the muscles in the face to move, activates when someone hears laughing sounds. Not only that, but regular laughter can help you burn up to 40 calories a day. This activity also improves immunity, helps regulate blood sugar levels, and improves sleep. Today is also commemorated as National Thermal Engineer Day in US. This is the energy within a system that is responsible for its temperature. The transfer of this energy from one system to another, thinking pushing a box across a rough floor causes heat. So we are celebrating the contributions of those people that understand the work with heat management, and we are commemorating the importance of this form of energy, of increasing awareness about the importance of energy around us. Ancient people linked heat with fire. Ancient Indians believed heat was related to mythological origins, and Western philosophy believed all substances came from four elements: water, air, earth, and of course fire. They also eventually found ways to transfer this heat. All bodies were believed to be capable of holding a certain amount of fluid, a heat capacity. Scientists in 18th and 19th centuries abandoned this idea, understanding that heat was a result of systems' internal energy. The discovery of thermal energy is commonly attributed to English physicist, mathematician, and viewer James Prescott Joule. He was reportedly experimenting with fluids, and while agitating, Joule's claim of being the first to make discovery was disputed by a German physicist, Julius Robert von Mayer, who said that he has proposed the theory of heat and its transfer at least a year before Joule announced this theory. Eventually, Joel conceded to Mayer's claim, although he asserted that his experiments were that confirmed this theory. Despite this, most publications give primary recognition to the Joel rather than Mayer. An American engineering and manufacturing company, Advanced Thermal Solutions Inc., ATS, wanted to raise awareness about thermal engineers and their contribution to the electronics and engineering industry. They believed in the importance of advancing this industry, and thus they founded the National Thermal Engineer Day. So a thermal engineer has in-depth understanding of the process of energy conversion from thermal sources into chemical, mechanical, or electrical energy. They also need to know thermodynamics. Thermal means something caused by or related to heat or temperature. This word is also sometimes used as a reference to thermal springs, also known as hot springs. The word thermal is derived from the Greek word therme, which means heat. Something thermal is usually hot, retains hot heat, or has a warming effect. One of the main objectives behind this day is to acknowledge the contributions of men and women in thermal engineering field. Telling at least one another person about this day allows people to understand the exceptional work done in this field and appreciate the dedication of thermal engineers. Thermal energy is not same as temperature. A cup of water and a gallon of it can have the same temperature, but their thermal energy depends on their volume. The more volume something has, the greater its thermal energy. Unlike other forms of energy, thermal energy is difficult to convert. The heating and cooling of a car are controlled by thermal management systems integrated into design. Thermal energy is stored in a system, while heat is what happens when energy is transferred between two objects. The range of applications for thermal energy is immense. Thermal energy is used in food and beverages, chemical processing, oil and gas, and energy and power. These solutions are crucial to electronics and engineering and are more important for the longevity and reliable operations. They contribute to technical advancement. Without them, modern life cannot function. Today is also commemorated as Pioneer Day in US, is a homage to the arrival of the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint pioneers in the state of Utah. Today is commemorated as Samaritans Awareness Day in UK, which is an annual campaign to underline the importance of lending an ear to those who are going through mental health problems. The Samaritans Foundation was founded in UK in 1953 by Chad Barra. He was a wizard and a cartoonist who could offer to counsel his parishioners and someone who prioritized listening to their problems above all else. The majority of parishioners who came to him had suicidal thoughts as a result of various challenges in their life. As a result of this, Vikar Bara felt compelled to do more to assist persons who are contemplating suicide. Thus, he would establish a suicide help hotline in the same year, which later grew into Samaritans Foundation. Today, Samaritans is the leading self-help foundation dedicated to aiding depression sufferers in the UK. Depression is one of the world's most severe mental disorders. Depression is expected to affect up to 280 million individuals worldwide. And with 4.5% of the adults in the United Kingdom suffering from it, as a result, Samaritans Awareness Day seeks to emphasize the necessity of listening to persons who are depressed or suicidal. The reasons for depression range widely from issues such as stress, family, societal pressures, anxiety, loneliness, loss, and disillusionment. Suicidal thoughts can rise when one concludes that they are ultimately not strong enough to deal with those problems and therefore question their purpose of living. While depression is often unnoticed, Its effects are profound, impacting one's capacity to function, operate, socialize, and develop. It is still treatable despite the fact that it is serious and crippling sickness. If you know someone who is depressed or has suicidal thoughts, it is critical that you listen to them. The key to being a good listener is to pause and consider why the individual is having those feelings. Not interrupting their request or pointing out errors in their explanation can help them open up and feel heard. It's important to be non-judgmental in your approach. Doing so can help us, the person being developing a sense of today is also commemorated as Children's Day in Vanuatu. So it promotes welfare and well-being of children and supports the fight against child abuse. It also allows families to spend extra time together. They can attend parades, concerts, public speeches, sports events, and other celebratory activities. Vanuatu is an island country located in South Pacific Ocean. The islands began to be inhabited by people about 3,000 years ago. However, 19th century France and United Kingdom had shown interest in these islands. So they decided to administer the islands jointly in 1906. Independent movements in Vanuatu started in early 1970s. According to the records, this was after the decolonization after World War II. Vanuatu gained independence on July 30, 1980. So Children's Day was first celebrated in Port Vila, the capital of Vanuatu. However, it is now celebrated in all provinces during this day. Emphasis is put on the value of children by families, government agencies, educational institutions, churches, temples, and business. Each year, the theme of that holiday has been to stop violence against children. Many celebrations are held on this holiday, including concerts, sports events, dances, songs, speeches, and other competitions. Children spend some quality time with their parents during the occasion and have their voices heard. They also receive gifts from their parents. In addition, there is a shared lunch organized by parents and caretakers for their children to look forward. So this week is also commemorated as National Marine Week in UK to appreciate the magnificent sea animals and plants that exist in the United Kingdom on a national scale. During National Marine Week, people from all over UK may come to explore their local shoreline as a retreating sea reveals its treasures. Take time to protect and appreciate marine life for the next 2 weeks. People take time to focus on how vital the oceans are to humanity, given that they constitute the largest ecosystem on the planet. In addition to containing 97% of the planet's water, they also make up to 80% of the plant's biodiversity with more than 30,000 species. The natural world is rapidly degrading. The oceans are under threat as a result of global warming and human activities. The primary factors can be attributed to human activities. So we must do everything we can assist in saving them. The bottom line is that if we end up losing oceans, everything will quickly deteriorate. It has been estimated that 80% of the global marine fish populations have already been overexploited or depleted. according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, due to threat posed by this biodiversity is imperiled with severe consequences to food security and global economy. According to a published study, the world frozen oceans are melting at a rate that is significantly quicker than any previously predicted. The world glaciers are now the smallest they have ever been in the mankind history, and their melting is responsible for 1/3 of the rising of the world sea level. A few examples of materials discarded in the ocean that are particularly detrimental to marine life include cigarette butts, fishing wires, and large amounts of plastic debris, all which are biodegradable, are not biodegradable. Climate change impacts can be reduced when oceans are healthy. Temperature and weather patterns are controlled by ocean currents. They also observe more than 90% of the heat and 30% of CO2 emissions that are released into the atmosphere by human activity. To restore the ocean's productivity and prevent further depletion, marine protected zones are necessary. They also attract tourists, support a sustainable fishing industry, and serve as scientific research sites. Plastic pollution is expected to kill hundreds and thousands of marine mammals each year, and it is difficult to say what precise number will be. Avoid disposable plastics, go out with family to celebrate out in nature and teach younger children about the world around them and importance of saving the nature. Volunteering is a good way to show your support or attending online or offline events. Researchers estimate that the ocean produces between 50% and 80% of the world's total oxygen supply. It is estimated that humans have explored only 5% of the world's waters thus far, so largely it's unexplored. The largest ocean was named after the Latin phrase Tetra Pacificum, which translates to peaceful sea. The deepest known part of the Earth's ocean is a mind-blowing 6.8 miles below the 6.8 miles below the water surface, the deepest of the ocean. Most of the organisms on our planet are aquatic, and we have only discovered a small portion of the total number of species. Raising awareness about the marine and coastal ecosystem and encouraging the responsible use and prevention of natural resources is the mission of the day. These benefits have all generations. For environmental reasons, marine life conservation is critical. The ocean contains 80% of the Earth's biodiversity and the world's largest ecosystem, and are a major source of food. Healthy oceans help maintain our environment and atmosphere by absorbing carbon dioxide and exhaling oxygen, just like land plants. The 2 weeks are filled with events and initiatives that educate people about the crucial marine life concerns. Marine life is threatened by a variety of factors, some the most serious of which include overfishing, plastic pollution, and other pollutants that end up in coastal waters. These things harm marine life, vegetation, and animals. This month is also commemorated as National Fishing Month. The great thing about fishing is that people of all ages can participate. Many go for fishing at their local parks and recreational centers this month, learning the ropes from instructors and snagging the biggest fish that can reel in. But make sure you are not exploiting the fishing population and killing just for fun. Often you use something that is fish friendly. These hooks generally hurt the fishes and also kill them. Thanks to the advancements like Nottingham reel, fiberglass fishing rods, and synthetic lures, and many people can fish as a vocation and don't do it for a fun. Killing fishes, you can leave the fishes back. Fishes bring joy and sustenance to individuals of all ages. Many anglers find it to be calming pastime because it involves a lot of silence and solitude. So learn more about fishing techniques, improve their ability to reel in fish, and have a good time doing it. Novice anglers prefer freshwater fish species, including bluegill, red gear sunfish, yellow perch, and rainbow trout, because they are easy to catch and are known for their willingness to bite. Major feeding times last for 2 hours, while minor fishing periods last for an hour, based on your calendar's solar time. Fish are most active during peak solar periods when the gravitational force of the moon and sun are at their strongest. So keep your canoe as quiet as possible when fishing is clear or shallow waters to avoid scaring fish away. Most spinning rods come with a height guidelines at the bottom, and casting rods have guidelines to improve the accuracy of your casts at the top. Today is also commemorated as the Royal Welsh Show in UK from 24th to 27th since 1904, organized by the Royal Welsh Agriculture Society. Every year it is 4-day celebrations, draws some 450,000 visitors and bring together the farm community from all over the Wales in UK. The Royal Welsh Show features a wide range of activities in addition to cattle, including forestry, horticulture, countryside sports, crafts, food and drink, as well as daily 12-hour schedule of attractions, exhibitions, and entertainment. The Royal Welsh Show was established in 1904 by the Royal Welsh Agriculture Society. The first show was laid in Aberystwyth, Sheridan in 1910. The show then moved from different venues until it developed its permanent showground in Laney Well, built Wells in 1963. Since then, the Royal Welsh Show has been held annually in July in Llanelwedd. There was no show held from 1915 to 1918 and 1940 to 1945 and 2020 to 2021. And some events were held virtually in the later years. Royal Welsh Show attracts more than 250,000 visitors annually, boosting tourism in Wales. Farmers can enter their livestock into classes with various award categories for cattle, goats, horses, pig, sheep, and other domestic animals. There would be also a sheep rearing and wool handling competition. Also, there would be family entertainment from the Rockwood Dog Display Team, showing the dog lovers every aspect of dog training. And there would be many more. The Royal Welsh Show is for agriculture business, where they would have to trade stand to attract new business, and for young farmers who live in farming communities in Wales. So dogs are not permitted within the showground perimeter fence except for the assistance dogs. The success of Royal Well Show has spawned two other great events, and one of those is the Winter Fair, which is founded in 1990. The motto is well and go natural with death rather than dishonor. The shearing process is not painful to the sheep, and they should be shorn every year because it's a huge weight for them and lot of lices and ticks, other problems sheep has to face. And sheep shearing has been practiced since dawn of civilization because wool was essential to support human life. Sheep are shorn annually to create a clean environment for the newborn lambs. Sheep shearing should be done by professionals because they are trained to shear sheep with care and respect and in a precise pattern without pain. Ivan Scott from Ireland did sheep shearing the fastest in 37.9 seconds. So with this, we end today's commemoration and we thank everyone for joining us and see you all tomorrow. And we are happy to announce that there will be a 10 days conference in August, from August 13th to August 22, starting on Sunday till next Tuesday. So we have 10 days international conference on social work, social sciences, space technologies, environment, sustainable development, and all related themes. Those who are interested, you can start preparing your presentations and register. The registration links are available on the website, and we will be sending soon through your email and as well as in all the WhatsApp groups. And also a reminder for this 2 days international conference on this 29th and 30th July. Those who are interested to present and participate, we request you to register. And we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. And those who have not registered, to register. All the certificates will be issued all at once. So don't need to worry about certificates. Just make sure you are registering and filling up the feedback form by attending. We are sharing the registration form once again in chat box for those who have not yet registered. After filling the feedback form, you can also register. The registration link is same for all the days for international webinar series.